Everyone. Welcome to week 8 of English 101. That means we are officially halfway through the semester. Isn't that crazy? We're about to get done drafting essay 3, so we're kind of in the middle of this process this week. So, what I would like you guys to focus on, particularly this week before we hit spring break, is just getting ahead of your draft for our concept essay. So, by now, hopefully, you've chosen a topic. Although, if you haven't, the reading for the attendance quiz this week should give you some tips on how to do so. So, if you're like, I have no idea what I'm writing about or how to write about this concept, go ahead and look over the reading I've assigned for the attendance quiz and see if that answers some of your questions. So, your plan for this week is pretty similar to the draft of essay 2 that we did. So, I'd like you to do some reading for the attendance quiz, then work on the discussion board for this week, which is looking at some essay examples from a previous class of mine, and then thinking specifically about examples. So just a little note about examples. I think we talked last essay about sort of working on taking I language out of your writing and also working on taking some vague and really general statements, like saying something is bad or good or always the same. When you use words like that, really, it makes your reader think to themselves, well, what do you mean by good? What do you mean by bad? Is it truly always the same? So when you're thinking about your concept, I want you to ask yourself, what examples can I give from my personal life that will really illustrate my definition of this concept? So I think for me personally, I think I've mentioned this on the discussion board, but if I were going to write this essay, maybe as a teacher, as an instructor, having worked in ESL before, maybe I would talk about what I believe education to be. So for me personally, I don't really think that education is sitting in a chair in a classroom listening to someone talk to you about a topic they know. What I believe education to be is really just being open to new ideas. I believe that you can be educated not only in a classroom, but also at your job or when you meet new people. So if I was going to write my essay, I might give an example of, so here's a time in my 101 class where I felt like my students were really able to educate themselves. Or another example, I might talk about how when I lived in Japan, I really had to educate myself about the culture and about the people I was meeting and how they were really new and different to how I had viewed like cultural and society previously. So just think about what specific examples you can use to help illustrate your concept. That's what the discussion board will help you do. After that, I'd like you to work on the outline for your draft, which will be due by this coming Sunday because your draft of the essay is actually going to be due next Wednesday. So next week is spring break. Woohoo, spring break. And even though you're in an online class, I still think that you should indulge in the break that you get. So what I'd like you to do is just take next week to sort of make sure you've got all the finishing touches on your draft that you need. Get it to me by Wednesday. I'll get it back to you by that following Sunday, and we'll work on the final draft the week after spring break. So keep in mind as you're working on this that I will also be out of town starting this coming Friday through next Tuesday. So if you have issues, really email me sooner rather than later. I will have access to my email, but I may not get back to you as quickly as I usually will. So in addition to that, make sure that you're staying healthy, getting enough rest. There's some pretty crazy flu and viruses going around that I know have hit our campuses pretty hard. So if you need some extra time, please get in touch with me and we'll work something out. But otherwise, enjoy your spring break, stay healthy, work on your essay, and I will talk to you soon.